All right, so today we're diving into something pretty wild. It's a document that lays out this terrifying new playbook for digital conflict. It's called Project Truthseeker, and it completely flips the script on what we think of as an information war. So let's break this thing down piece by piece.
And right from the get-go, the tone here is, well, it's not subtle at all. The document basically says, forget passive research, they're moving to what they call Black Ops digital gauntlets. Yeah, this isn't about having a debate, this is a flat-out declaration of war.
So here's the key takeaway. The goal they state isn't just to, expose or challenge some organization. No, it's about total deconstruction. And the language they use, digital holy war, that's chosen for a reason. It's meant to signal an absolute, no-holds-barred, take-no-prisoners kind of conflict. Okay, so the whole plan is laid out in 3 phases, and each one ramps up the attack. We're going to start right where the document does, in the shadows. We're talking about building the arsenal before a single shot is even fired. So welcome to Phase 0. The document gives it this cool, kind of spooky name, Akashic Black Ops. And the whole strategy here is simple. Build an arsenal that is completely unbreakable and totally untraceable, all before your target even has a clue they're being watched. This whole foundation is built on 3 core tactics. And listen, these aren't just your average tools. We're talking about autonomous, intelligent systems. They're designed to create this permanent, untouchable high ground before the war even officially starts. Let's dig into the first one. Now, this isn't just a fancy hard drive for storing data. No. The Immortal Data Core is a self-governing entity. It's a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization. That means code decides when to release information, not people. And get this, it's built on a quantum-resistant blockchain, so it's future-proofed against being cracked. The implication here is just staggering. You're creating a truth that, once it's out there, has no master. It can't be controlled. So what's so game-changing about this? Well, it basically turns data into a self-executing weapon. I want you to picture thousands of digital tripwires. Maybe a lawsuit gets filed, or a key person is silenced. Or heck, even just the specific date passes on the calendar. Bam. Any of those things could trigger an automatic data dump. The document claims this makes the data itself literally unstoppable.
All right, the second tool is all about reconnaissance. Think of AI bots unleashed to act like an army of forensic accountants, but working on a global scale. They're not just looking at bank accounts we already know about. They're scraping flight logs, property records, even chatter on the dark web, all to map out the hidden financial plumbing of the target. This isn't about finding one smoking gun. It's about building an entire unblinking financial intelligence agency from the ground up.
Okay, and this next one. This is just wild. The plan is to create AI-powered digital clones of whistleblowers. Imagine that. These clones can give interviews, provide testimony 24/7 in any language you want, and they never get tired or scared. Seriously, think about that for a second. How do you possibly counter testimony that is literally immortal, never forgets a single detail, and can talk to 1 million people all at the same time? All right, let's move on to Phase 1. This is where the fight goes public. The document calls it the Digital Blitzkrieg, and the name fits. The goal here is simple. Overwhelm the target with so many attacks from so many different directions that they are completely paralyzed. So, this Blitzkrieg has 3 main weapons in its arsenal. And what's clever is that each one is designed to turn a different system, bureaucracy, the media, the legal system, against the target organization itself. The first tactic is, honestly, kind of brilliant in its simplicity. It's an automated engine that lets anyone file a specific IRS complaint form, Form 13909, with just a single click. You're basically weaponizing bureaucracy against itself just by flooding the system.
And the key here is the sheer scale of it all. We're not talking about sending in a few thousand complaints. The goal is to send hundreds of thousands, so many that it becomes statistically impossible for the IRS to just ignore them. You'd effectively crash their whole system.
Next up is the media assault. But forget about one big press release. Instead, an AI finds hundreds of journalists and sends every single one of them a personalized pitch with a unique little nugget of data from that financial autopsy we talked about. What happens? The story breaks everywhere, all at once, but from all these slightly different angles. It makes the narrative feel absolutely inescapable.
And finally, you've got the legal attack, which is all about arming the masses. They call it a RICO in a box. It's basically a digital toolkit. It takes all the power of complex litigation, the stuff normally only big, expensive law firms can do, and puts it into the hands of pretty much anyone. And this quote just says it all. The whole point is to make it super easy for anyone to take legal action. You're trying to create what the document calls a tsunami of counter-litigation, coming from 1,000 different directions at once. It's designed to completely overwhelm any legal defense they could possibly mount.
And that brings us to the final phase, Phase 2. This is designed to be the absolute killing blow. It's called the Scorched Earth Campaign, and its purpose is exactly what it sounds like, to make sure the target organization can never, ever recover or rebuild.
There are 3 final tactics here. The goals are to cut off all economic lifelines, trigger a complete internal collapse, and then permanently seal their fate in history.
So check this out. Economic Sanctions 2.0. A public website goes live, and it gives a complicity score to any business that works with the target. A construction company, a grocery supplier, their local bank, they all get a score, right there for the world to see. The goal is to create what they call a market-driven quarantine, basically making the target so toxic that nobody will do business with them anymore.
After that, the fight turns inward. The plan is to use AI to analyze the target's own leaked doctrines or scriptures, and then generate counter-scriptures that perfectly mimic the founder's writing style. These new texts are designed to expose contradictions, to highlight financial traps, basically to spark a full-blown ideological civil war from within.
And the final move is called the legacy lock. The entire data set of this whole conflict, every single financial record, every piece of testimony, every internal memo, gets encoded into the Genesis block, the very first block of a new permanent blockchain. They call it the tombstone. And just like a real tombstone, it can never be altered or deleted. It's there forever.
And etched into that digital tombstone is one final, chilling message. It's not just an archive of data. No, it's meant to be a permanent warning, carved into digital stone, making sure that no one can ever come along and try to rewrite what happened.
So, Project Truthseeker is more than just a plan. It's a blueprint for a whole new kind of warfare, one that's fought with DAOs and AI and blockchains. And it really leaves us with a huge question for our digital age, doesn't it? When code becomes law and data becomes a weapon, who really holds the power?